What's good? Let's dive into TNA Impact from November the 20th, 2025. An okay show for the most part. We are on the road to Final Resolution, which takes place in about 2.5 weeks. It's going to be TNA's final pay-per-view of the year. Usually, the last 2 shows of the year for TNA are usually very weak. Turning Point and Final Resolution, they've always been kind of weak shows, and it is what it is. So we kicked the show off with an In Love and Memory graphic for George Tanos. Rest in peace, rest in power, rest in paradise. George was a great TNA photographer, wrestling photographer. He went to a ton of their shows and everything else, so he will definitely be missed. So the show officially starts with Mike Santana. He gets on the mic. He sits in the middle of the ring with a steel chair. Santana says that he loves the crowd. He said that he was on top of the world 1 month ago. He said he fought, where he accomplished what he fought for his entire life for, that being able to be TNA World Champion. He got the shut-up moment with his with his baby girl, who saved his life. So, Mike Santana said that moment's going to live with him for the rest of his life. He said last week he hit another milestone, that being sober for 1,000 days. Then 24 hours later, Mike Santana lost everything. He lost it all. Mike Santana says, just when you think you're on top, life will humble you real quick. Mike Santana says that things got really dark and he was scared. Mike Santana said he would usually react with rage and anger, but he couldn't. So Mike Santana talked about going to a meeting instead of immediately going to the Turning Point show. Mike Santana said that at that meeting, he was reminded that the fans deserve, he should be there for them. Mike Santana said that the fans use their hard-earned money to get an escapist experience. So Mike Santana said that he had it all right in his hands, and it was taken from him. Mike Santana says that only makes him want it so much more. Mike Santana said that Frankie Kazarian has something that belongs to him. And Mike Santana says that Baby Boy, sooner rather than later, that title's going to return to Poppy. And then Mike Santana said to the NXT boys, he's going to let them know, he's going to pick them off one by one, making them regret that they ever set foot in TNA. And Mike Santana said that, he told the NXT wrestlers to beware. So that was cool. Good way to start the promo. Good stuff there. Good stuff. I like this. I do think that Mike Santana will probably recapturing the title either at TNA's first live show of the new year, or definitely at Genesis. It'll probably be at Genesis. Hopefully that's when they'll reveal their new television partner. I'm hoping that they get with the CW. I really am. I think that would be great because they're still doing the NXT TNA partnership. I know there are other companies that are looking at them, like Paramount and other, and others, Sci-Fi and others as well, probably. So yeah, but yeah, pretty good way to start off the show. Moving on. So Santino Marella, he was talking to Ava, basically. So Frankie Kazarian, he shows up. He said that he has nothing to do with what happened last week. So Frankie Kazarian says that Santino Marella owes him a cursive handwritten apology with Carlos Silva's signature on it. So Santino says that he agrees with Kaz for now, and he was just talking to JDC. So JDC shows up. So JDC said Frankie Kazarian looked like a champion who's a reject from Bon Jovi. Frankie Kazarian said that JDC can mock him all he wants, but when's the last time someone cared about JDC? When's the last time someone gave a fuck about Frankie Kazarian? Nobody. So then Frankie makes fun of JDC's wife. This fires JDC up. And so Santana Marella makes a match between Eric Young and JDC. If he wins, he will get a shot at the title at Final Resolution. So, there's that. And Frankie Kazarian says that he hopes that Eric Young cripples JDC. Okay, whatever. Moving on. This leads us into the first match of the night. Dani and Luna, she defeats Indy Hartwell. She wins the Fatal 4-Way, so she advances. What they're doing is they're going to do two Fatal 4-Ways, and the winner of those matches will face. The winner of that will face, they'll be the new number one contender to face Kalani Jordan, I guess, at Turning Point. I mean, my bad, I guess at Final Resolution. So, yeah, whatever. So, Dani and Luna defeated Rosemary, Indy Hartwell, and Myla Grace. So, I'm glad that they're still pushing Dani and Luna. She wins via a steel chain wrapped around her hand. She hit Indy Hartwell in the face with it for the 1, 2, 3. That's fine there. Moving on from that. So Eric Young is back. He's backstage. He's talking to two lamos in masks. Eric Young handed them flyers to hand out to people, telling them the cleanse is coming. Gia Miller showed up. She had a quick interview with Eric Young. Eric Young claimed that Santana Marella was a part of the problem, and the evidence was one-sided stipulation. Later, that only JDC would get a title shot and not him if he won. Eric Young said he's going to show the world the truth by beating JDC. Eric Young said the cleanse is coming, and there's nothing you can do about it. This shit is lame. TNA needs to get rid of Eric Young quick, fast, in a hurry. Eric Young sucks. He just does. I'm tired of Eric Young. I'm tired of Frankie Kazarian. I'm tired of Moose and Brian Myers, all these other clowns. Get rid of them, right? The problem with TNA is their roster. Not all of their roster, but a large portion of that roster needs to go the fuck away. And they need to bring in guys and girls that they know that they can get, whether that be from WWE or AEW. But they need fresh talent. They need fresh talent. With them, getting a new TV deal and everything else, with that being on the horizon, they have got to get rid of a lot of dead weight. And Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian, those are two guys that come to mind. It's time to move on from those guys. Either make those guys producers or move the fuck on. Moving on. So, Santana Marella, he was backstage chatting with his daughter, Ariana Grace, about how they can deal with security measures to keep the NXT guys out. So Steve Maclin and the Hardy Boys, they show up to chat with Santana Marella about the NXT situation. Jeff Hardy proposes using the TNA tag titles as bait. Okay, that's cool there. But do I care about this? No, I don't. I don't. Not at all. Not at all. Moving on. Mance Warner defeats Matt Cardona. I don't care about this shit. Moving on from that. This leads us into the TNA parking lot where Robert Stone and a lot of low-tier guys on the NXT roster, Charlie Dempsey and stuff, they were there. They cut a promo. Charlie Dempsey, no, my bad. Robert Stone talked about TNA invading the Performance Center first, and suddenly they're the bad guys for responding. So, Tyson and Tyreek, they were talking about how they're taking opportunities. Brooks Jensen, he joked about not seeing nickname around these days. Charlie Dempsey says that he's a real wrestler that can lock in a real shoot hold. Stack said that everyone in the ring, rather than his future father-in-law, Santana Marella, deserve what happened to them. Robert Stone said that he already conquered TNA before as Robbie E, and the NXT guys just picked the right brain. Lexus King yelled about shattering TNA into a million pieces. I don't care about this shit at all. This is lame as fuck. Please end this storyline. Please end it. Please. This is going to be lame. Moving on. So Mark Cardona, he's backstage. He talked about how he's usually always ready, but he wasn't ready tonight due to Step the Lander, giving Mance Warner tips about him. Matt Cardona said that he thought that Mance was a brother. Matt Cardona challenged Mance to a street fight at Final Resolution. And he said that he's always ready and he's a deathmatch king. I don't give a shit about this. What the hell? Moving on from this garbage. This leads us into Myron Reed versus John Skyler. Myron Reed wins. So good stuff there. I'm a fan of this. I'm a fan of Myron Reed and the rest of the Rascals. It seems like their contracts are up too. I think Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz's contracts are up. Wes Lee did not sign a long-term deal with TNA. I think he's on a per-appearance deal with them. But the Rascals should stay in TNA. They really should. There's no point of them going to AEW. They wouldn't do anything there. They would just kind of be on Collision or just show up on Dynamite randomly. They wouldn't be tag team champions, I could tell you that. They could definitely be trios champions, but not, tag team champions. I feel like the Rascals should just stay in TNA, in my opinion. There's no point going to AEW at all for anything. I mean, Tony Khan doesn't give a fuck about TNA at all. He doesn't give a fuck about the TNA wrestlers. Like, look at Josh Alexander. Look at Deanna Purrazzo. Look at Tyra Valkyrie. Look at John Morrison. Look at them as examples. He doesn't care about TNA. He doesn't. So there's no point in going there. Unless you just want to make a really good payday, that's fine. But, nah. Just stay in TNA where you can still get used and still, work with NXT. That's what I would do. Moving on. So AJ Francis is at an ATM somewhere in Orlando at Full Sail. So AJ Francis, he's berating Rich Swann for telling him to stay in the back during that match, losing to Leon Slater, and then being respectful to Slater afterwards. Swann said that Rich Swann said that Leon Slater proposed that he has it, and so then AJ Francis just said that you don't have to tell someone who's been in the NFL about sportsmanship. AJ says that he doesn't care about sportsmanship and everything else. AJ said that he took care of business by beating BDE, while Swann lost to a flippy kid who thinks he's the future. AJ Francis says that he's the future of the business. Leon Slater pulled up. He traded some words with AJ. AJ said that Slater didn't grow up in the 90s and didn't know that kids like him need respect beaten into them. Rich Swann said he tried to play the peacekeeper. And then Leon said he's going to talk to Santana Marella to set up a match against AJ Francis. Okay, that's fine there. AJ Francis needs to get out of TNA too. It's time to move on from them. He should still work the indies. And ultimately, I hope that he signs with MLW. I think it's time for TNA to get rid of their dead weight. Like, for real. They have a lot of it, and he's one of them. So, again, he does good character work. I like his character work. He sucks. Everything else, he sucks. He's a good promo, and he's a good character. But outside of those two things, no. He's got nothing else going for him. Moving on. So the personal concierge, he was backstage with Ash, Heather, and M by Elegance. the Elegance brand. The personal concierge said that he was hosting a talent search for Mr. Elegance. The format was similar to the dating show, the dating game show. Cool. The first guy, he talked, and Ash immediately said she recognized the voice. Ash dragged the guy to the back, and they did a cutaway that they may have not. Yeah, so that's pretty funny. Ash said that he was disqualified for breaking the rules. Another guy showed up by the name of Jamie Stanley. So they made fun of him and all that. Then Heather, she asked a random guy about, steroids and all that, all that nonsense and stuff. They couldn't find anything, so, whatever. So I guess they'll find somebody eventually. But I do like this segment here. I do like what they're doing with the Elegance brand. I really do. It's cool for them to add a guy to the faction. That's interesting. Hopefully they'll find somebody. But it was kind of funny, though. Moving on, Xia Brookside, she advances. She wins the Fatal 4-Way. She defeats Killer Kelly, Jody Threat, and Victoria Crawford, a.k.a. Alicia Fox. All right, that's fine. Moving on from that, this leads us into a Jada Stone promo. She said the reason why she's called a Spark is that's what her brother called her. She said that she was trained by Al Snow and Doug Basham in OVW. She spent some time in New Japan being trained by Kushida and Fred Rosser, a.k.a. Darren Young. She said that she met Tommy Dreamer, and she kept doing them to get noticed. She didn't do best at her tryout. She was 18 at the time. She got her reality check. So we saw a clip of her losing to Miller Moore. She thought that Tommy Dreamer, Jazz, and Carlos Silver were disappointed when she lost, but she realized that sometimes you have a chance in defeat, and so basically, Jada said that she got a chance to talk to Bayley, and after talking to her, she was congratulated by Bayley for signing with TNA. She said she's going to work hard to get everyone's respect. She said she's going to show everyone why she's the Spark. Okay, that's fine. Whatever, I guess. I mean, this is fine, I guess. I mean, they're pushing, two new women, two new knockouts. That's fine. Cool. Main event of the evening. I did not watch it. JDC wins. And then Santino set up some matches for Final Resolution. So whatever. I don't care about this garbage. I don't. So whatever. It is what it is. So Eric Young loses to JDC, which is great, so that's fine. JDC winning is the right decision. Frankie Kazarian is easily going to beat JDC, and, it is what it is. So TNA Impact was okay. I like the Mike Santana stuff. The matches were so slow. Most of them were short. They were, like, between 5 and 10 minutes long. That's one thing I like about TNA. Their matches aren't super long. They usually do like short matches. It's usually like 4 or 5 matches. The longest will usually be the main event, which usually goes about 12 to 15 minutes. But I do like what they're doing with Mike Santana. He's going to get his redemption and get his revenge. So I do like that. But what did you guys think of TNA? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.